Hello and welcome to the first edition of Shot Clock for the 2018-2019 school year. I'm your host, Mr. Adam Woolley, teacher of the Advanced TV Production. Before we get going with the rules, regulations, and all the fun and frivolity that is Shot Clock, I want to take a second and introduce to you our panel. Our panel consists today of Mr. Alex McGinnis, Mr. Jonah Suit, and KJ, don't call me Caden Whitman, all right?
No.
Today we're going to discuss the topics of Michigan football, along with Victor Martinez's retirement, and those great old Detroit Lions. Our contestants will have 24 seconds to get to their point. Let's get going with the show. Alex, you're first up. The Detroit Lions are coming off a stunning, and I mean stunning, 26-10 win over the Patriots on Monday Night Football. So let me ask you this. Is this a crossroads where this team has actually hit a crossroads and are moving on their way up, or was it just another pretender that the Lions have duped us into before? Alex, your 24 seconds starts now.
I feel like the Lions just got lucky. The Lions just had a good game against a big team early in the season. I feel like Tom Brady had an off day. The Patriots couldn't make connections to their receivers, which is their main passing scheme. It's their scheme for them, and they couldn't connect. They were forced to run the ball. And
Ooh, time's up, Alex. So a little bit of the passing game was suspect there. Jonah, what are your thoughts? Is this a crossroads for the team, or is it just something that we shouldn't buy into?
I definitely believe that this is a turning point. The Lions had 25 first downs and only had one turnover the whole game. Kerryon Johnson ran for 100 yards on only 16 attempts, and Matt Stafford went from throwing 58% completion in the first week to a 75% completion. So this is definitely a turning point for the Lions. I got to disagree with Alex. He just got to believe in the hometown team.
Ooh, good use of your 24 seconds there. Jonah, I'm going to flash back to you, so we want to let the control room. We might need to go to some crosstalk there on V2. But Jonah, let me ask you this. What, in your opinion, very briefly, what in your opinion makes you believe that this is it for the Lions? What did they show you in that Monday night game?
Well, I mean, we did struggle the first 2 weeks, but it was really, without turnovers and, holding them to 10 points, it was really just an outstanding effort by the Lions.
All right, KJ, you're on the clock now. Your thoughts. Is this a crossroads game, or, again, something that Lions fans can get duped into and fooled into? KJ Whitman, your 24 seconds starts now.
I think this is a turning point for the Detroit Lions. We had no starting DN, Ziggy Ansah, when we held Tom Brady to 10 points the whole game. I think that's a big turnaround, and we all know big play Slay made the All-Star game last year, came up with an interception, and I think this is a very turning point, and all you see is Matt Stafford not getting sacked as much as usual and making big plays.
One of the things that we have to know about all of our panelists today is that they're all young men and that they have not lived the grizzled, experienced life that I have lived. I am not buying in yet. I saw those first 2 weeks with the Lions, and I don't think at all this is a team that's on the rise. So I think Patricia knew something that was going on and kind of let him have it a little bit and got back at his old coach there. So 1 week does not a season make, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, next topic is Michigan football. I had the pleasure of going to the Big House on Saturday and watching Michigan absolutely pummel Nebraska. And we talk about one game not making a season. Obviously, Michigan started out with a huge loss to Notre Dame, but in the last 3 games have improved themselves. Again, question becomes, is this a team on the rise, or is this just a team that's been playing against mediocre talent? Jonah, you're first up on the clock today. Tell me a little bit more about what you see from this Michigan football team. Your 24 seconds starts now.
All right, it's been years since the Wolverines have even had a bad football team, so this year they're on the rise again. On defense, we were just unstoppable. We only allowed Nebraska 10 points. And Shea Patterson, the quarterback, he threw for 120 yards. He went for 15 to 22. And Karen Higdon averaged 11 yards per run. So obviously the offense was just firing on all.
Time's up. Good points. Higdon was firing on all cylinders. Shea Patterson on the move. KJ, what do you have to add to that? Is this a Michigan team on the rise, or again, have they just played an easier part of their schedule? KJ Whitman, your 24 seconds starts now.
I think they're on the rise. As you see, Shea Patterson, I think he feels comfortable now as he got injured at Ole Miss, and then hasn't really played games. So against Notre Dame's first week, he probably struggled because like he hasn't versed big competition. But then I feel like Michigan's defense with interceptions and stuff, and Higdon, their running back, is going off for rushing TDs and every that.
Nope, you're spot on. I think a couple of those points are nicely made. Alex, do you beg to differ with the rest of the group here, or do you think Michigan is a team that is looking to be a big force in the Big Ten? Your 24 seconds starts now.
No, I agree with them completely. And I'm not a big fan of the Wolverines, so like they're a force this year with Shea Patterson and Dylan McCaffrey. The Wolverines defense smothered Nebraska, keeping them to only 10 points, and Karan Higdon also ran the ball down their throats the entire game, 12 carries for 136 yards, like Jonas said.
Well, as any good football coach will tell you, you have to win the games that are played in front of you, right? And over the last couple of weeks, yes, the opponents may not have been great, but there's been steady improvement day in and day out from this Michigan Wolverines team. You guys are right on as far as the defensive assessment. The defense was smothering, could not be stopped. Offense was exerting their will with the offensive line looking a lot better and a lot more in tune with what was going on. And Karan Higdon is definitely one of those premier backs. You could just tell the difference. There's a guy named Chris Evans on that team. He's more of a speed guy. Karan Higdon is the complete package. Let's shift gears here a little bit from football. We're going to move into baseball. And our topic revolves around Victor Martinez, who played his last game this weekend as a Detroit Tiger at the home field. He was actually taken off after fouling a base hit. The question with Victor, though, is this. He had a major league career that was illustrious. Great hitter, great professional, and from all accounts, a pretty good teammate. But the question becomes, what was his legacy as a Detroit Tiger? When he was brought here in 2011, he was brought here to win. So, KJ, you get the first go at this. What do you think Victor Martinez's legacy will be as he's remembered as a Detroit Tiger? KJ Whitman, your 24 seconds starts right now.
I think he had a great season with a great career with the Tigers. As you can see, he came in second MVP voting in 2014, and he was a 5-time All-Star. I think he had a great career and made the Tigers go to World Series. So,
is the World Series enough, though, KJ? I mean, is it something that you can put your fingerprint on as Victor Martinez and say this was enough?
Yeah, but Victor Martinez had a lot more help, like Miguel Cabrera, JV, and Max Scherzer. Yeah, a lot more help.
All right. Alex, same question. When you think of Victor Martinez as like an all-time Tiger, what's his legacy? What does he mean to you?
V-Mart was he was a good all-around player for the Tigers. He helped them out a lot. I feel like they're going to remember him for winning the Edgar Martinez Award for being one of the best DHs at that point in time in his career with the Tigers. I also think the Tigers are going to remember him for just walking off in the game, getting a single.
An infield single? Yeah, after watching him for years, the last couple of years, hit the ball all the way to the wall and get a single, it was kind of ironic that he hits the ball over to the second baseman and gets an infield hit. All right, Jonah, last man standing here with the Victor Martinez legacy thing. As he goes down as one of the all-time Tiger greats or one of the all-time Tiger kind of like busts. Your thoughts on Victor Martinez start now.
He was definitely one of the all-time Tiger greats. When you walk into the stadium, you always see somebody with a Martinez jersey on. He's steady held a 300 average throughout his whole career when he was batting. He was a 5-time All-Star, like KJ said. And running up to MVP is actually pretty nice, even though he didn't win it. He also won Silver Slugger in 2004 and 2014.
All right, I'm going to take you all to task here. So let's make sure that we revolve between this shot and the 3-shot when I give you a little bit of something. Guys, I'm going to challenge you on this. I say Victor Martinez's legacy is a failure. And I say this because of this and this reason alone. Never delivered a World Series championship. And that's what he was brought in for. So when I look at it, I think you guys are being just a little bit too soft on Victor Martinez in the long run. What do you say to that?
I honestly agree with that. I mean, he really didn't give us a bunch of winning seasons for the Tigers, and at the end of his career, I don't know. All I'm saying, he had a funny batting stance, and
I feel like he just overstayed his welcome. I feel like he should have retired a while ago.
Yeah, maybe 2 years ago would have been a good time for him to walk off in a way that he could feel a little bit more dignified, because over the past couple years, you felt like you had to slot him into that batting order with a team that had a youthful gain coming up with a bunch of kids coming up from the minor leagues. So, like I said, maybe next week we'll get these guys to be a little bit more controversial, but this is our first edition of Shot Clock for the year. We're going to keep rolling with this show with more topics that come after week, 24 seconds to make their point. For the panelists and all the crew that helped us out here, I'm Mr. Woolley saying thank you, and we will see you on next week's edition of Shot Clock as our 24 seconds have expired.